This week, the sun went into Cancer, the zodiac sign that reminds us we are beings who feel things. And today we're going to look at why caring and some of the themes that Cancer has to do with. Caring is the foundation of everything. Why caring is not optional. We're going to break that down for you today and help you understand why you might be feeling things and feel a little bit more sensitive and vulnerable than usual. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro perspective for the week for June 23rd and Sunday. And on these Sunday videos, I like to take a little bit of a bigger view, a bigger topic that gives us a little bit of that sense of the bigger picture. Whereas on the day-to-day videos, we look at where the moon is, what the mood of the day is, kind of your day-to-day vibe. So we get to dive in a little bit deeper on these Sunday topics. And today I want to break down a little bit, look at what is going on as the sun goes into Cancer, bringing Cancer season, bringing birthdays for all you Cancer people. Happy birthday if you have a Cancer sun. We also had this week Venus and Mercury going into Cancer. Cancer, as we've talked about, is the summer solstice is the definition of the beginning of the sign of Cancer. So when the sun is at its northernmost on our planet, we have the beginning, we have the longest days in the northern hemisphere, and we have the beginning of the sign of Cancer in the tropical zodiac. That's a whole different topic. We'll get into another time the difference between tropical and sidereal, other ways of looking at the sky. The system that I use astrologically is a tropical zodiac. That's fine. It's just one system, and that's the one we're working with. So with the beginning of Cancer being that summer solstice, it is the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. Of course, it's the shortest. It's depths or beginning of the winter season in the southern hemisphere. But looking symbolically at how we want to view the sign of Cancer, it has to do with this time of year when we are really in full swing, beginning the growing season, the season of not just having babies, but bringing them up, right? The little fledglings need to learn how to leave the nest, and our plants in our gardens need to flower and fruit. So we are in this very nurturing phase in terms of the seasons. Symbolically, right? I know it doesn't make sense if you're at the beginning of the winter season in the southern hemisphere, but looking at the symbolism of how this might show up and how the sign of Cancer gets its its qualities. So the sign of Cancer has to do with nurturing, caring, making our plants grow and flower and fruit. It also has to do with how we care for the babies, the little birdies in the nest, and the other things in nature that are at the beginning of their potential. So when you think about that energy of caring and nurturing, it brings us back to the energy of babies, for lack of a better way to talk about it, right? Babies are dependent. Babies are needy. Babies cannot take care of themselves. What happens if we don't care for them? They do not survive, right? So just like babies in nature and human babies need caring, need the caregiving of independent, adult. We have this part of ourselves also that has needs. So our needs relate to where we need to be cared for. Why do we need to be cared for? Because caring helps us figure things out on deeper levels. So we cannot skip over the foundational step of caring. You cannot skip over it when you are raising a child. You cannot skip over it when you are attending to your own development. So the foundational aspects of caring are about how we organize and take care of ourselves internally, not in places that can be seen, that where we are learning how to grow, we are learning how to do things for ourselves, we're learning how to do things differently, maybe than how we've done them before. But that step of caring and safety is where we have the vulnerability to be new at something, just like a baby. When you have the opportunity to be brand new at something, you can be vulnerable, you can be not yet competent, not yet independent. You have that ability to be new at something, embryonic at something, right? So caring allows us to grow. It's also something that allows us to heal. When we've had some damage to our physical or emotional or psychic well-being, we need support and caring to rebuild ourselves, to that nurturing and nourishment that we need to heal and be able to be independent or whole again, right? So just like that, the energy, the symbolism symbolically of how babies need our care to be able to become what they are going to become, parts of ourselves need that support, caring, nurturing, that time to be not good at something yet, that time to be mending, that time to be learning, repairing, healing, growing, becoming, developing. All of that is, and it's foundational, right? When we skip over feeling our feelings, feeling vulnerable, the sensitive parts of ourselves, we go right, if we are pressuring ourselves internally to go right to the step of having it all together before we have it all together, right? Not having the time and the opportunity to fall apart, to rest, to get our needs met, and we push ourselves to be whole and independent before we're ready. What happens? It doesn't work, right? We can't do it that way. And so that function of mothering ourselves, nurturing ourselves, self-care, right? It's the theme of this YouTube channel. Self-care is not just, is it not optional, but it is foundational to everything else we may want to do. So it is the ability to create safe space for ourselves, the ability to honor and recognize our emotional process, to allow ourselves to be sensitive, to be vulnerable, to not have our SHIT together, to have needs, and to allow ourselves time to get those needs met. So I use this analogy, this what's the word? Image quite a lot when I talk about Cancer symbolism. And that's the image of a mother holding a child who has fallen down, hurt their knee, right? Scraped their knee. There's nothing logically that needs to be done, right? If it's just a little scrape and it hurts, there's nothing you need to do for it really, other than make sure it's clean and has a Band-Aid, right? But that child who has scraped their knee needs to repair. They need to process the shock, the pain, to self soothe, right? To do what their body and their emotional being knows how to do, which is to release the hurt, release the, the little trauma that they've just been through, and have time to cry, to scream, to be held, to not be okay. And when they have that time, what happens? Guess what? They feel their feelings and that they're fine, right? Okay, so why are they fine? Because they had the safety and the caring and the safe space they need to process their feeling, the shock, the hurt, and do what they already know how to do to heal themselves, to be ready to move on and to be fine and to bounce back. So we have to think about when anything happens to us that throws us or we're off our game for some reason, we might need that caring, that safe space, that self-care, that time to just feel things and get our needs met. And when we do that, what happens? We bounce back. We heal. We get to be and remember who we are. We get to step back into creativity, productivity, all the things you think you should be doing. But we need to have that time. And that is what Cancer energy is all about. It's reminding us that you need to feel your feelings. You need to feel vulnerable and sensitive sometimes. It is actually helping you to reorganize, regroup on the inside, take care of what you already know how to do. But it's just when we deny ourselves the need to get our needs met, then we push it away and we push it away and we push it away. And what happens? We become beings whose needs are not met. Right? Long-term needs not being met, right? Call that stress, call that a stressful lifestyle. And how do we heal that? We heal that with self-care. So when the sun, actually before the sun went into Cancer on the 20th, so just a few days ago, before that, both Venus and Mercury earlier in the week, this past week, went into Cancer as well. So we had the shift of Venus and then Mercury and then the sun into Cancer. So 3 planets moving into Cancer, reminding you, hey, you might need to feel things. You might need to be sensitive and vulnerable. You might need to attend to your deeper needs, your inner needs. What kind of self-care are you needing right now? And so if that happened, if you felt this past week, like what just hit me? Why do I suddenly feel super sensitive and having all the feelings? That's why. So we had an energetic shift into Cancer, 3 planets into Cancer. And this is a reminder that we need to feel our feelings. We need to attend to our needs. We need to process on the inside the way that we know how to do unconsciously, right? When we give ourselves the attention or the safety or the downtime, the time to rest, then we know how to do what we need to do. We just have to listen. We just have to say, wow, I really need to lie down. I really need to stop pushing myself so hard or whatever. Maybe you need some good food. Maybe you need some, what does self-care look like for you? So thinking about self-care and bringing it back to the solstice, the sunlight, sunshine, and longer days are a time of greater creativity. It's, we have longer time in the day to get things done, more sunlight, more growing time, right? Growing time for the plants means creative time for us. So even if you live in the Southern Hemisphere, you might tune in to this more creative, more productive time, because qualitatively, that's what the zodiac is bringing us. And with this creative phase that we are moving into with summer, being warm, warm weather, time outdoors, time getting things done, traditionally our, agricultural roots remind us, of the importance of the alignment with the seasons. So it's a reminder that this Cancer feeling, emotion, needs, sensitivity is part of that creative process. So when you attend to your needs and create safety and rest and downtime and self-care and all the things you need, it supports your ability to be productive, to be creative, to do the things that extra sunlight symbolically or really, right, is bringing you. So the Cancer feelings that you might be having are related to the summer season. Of course, we're going to be having decreasing daylight from here on out, but it's also the beginning of the seasonal summer in the northern hemisphere. So we're thinking about this time of creativity and productivity, and the same way that our self-care, our nurturing, attending to our needs supports a healing process, supports us to bounce back, supports us to grow and thrive and regenerate and repair and do all the things that we need to restore, optimal functioning, wholeness, whatever that looks like for you. We also have this time of supporting our ability to be creative and productive. So it's supporting healing, and healing means wholeness, and wholeness means being able to do who you are, to do what you can do from who you are authentically, right? To be who you are authentically and to do what you do from that place. So excellent. Hopefully that gives you a little bit more of the context. We are heading toward, we're just past the first of two Capricorn full moons, heading toward the Cancer new moon. So we will have a reset point coming up in a couple of weeks, just less than a couple of weeks now, heading into that Cancer new moon reset point around needs and caring and self-care. And so here is your reminder that is not only important, not only non-negotiable, not optional, but is foundational to your ability to be your best self and to produce what you're here to create, to be your most creative, inspired, beautiful, sharing self. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. Hit the subscribe button because I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. And like I said, in the day-to-day videos, we do a little bit more of what is the mood of the day? How can you best align to take care of yourself based on where the moon is today and what the energies are asking of you. So how can you be in alignment with the flow of the qualities of time that are evolving and unfolding, and be in that flow to best move through life with ease and joy, and course, the way that your own self-care supports that. So astrology for unshakable self-care. Hit the subscribe button. Learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. Marina Orms, thanks so much. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.